Hello, our video today is going to be on subtracting integers. We're going to try something a little different that's different than what we talked about in class. So hopefully this will be a new way for you to see how to subtract integers, and hopefully will be a way that works for you. So on your paper, go ahead and draw a fox face, and it's going to look like this. And what this is going to do is be a strategy for you to figure out what you're supposed to do with the numbers that you're given. And I'll explain that in a minute, but just make sure that picture is drawn on your paper. So here I've redrawn the fox face, and so I'm going to show you how to use that. These little red boxes are going to help me show you what I'm covering up, and you'll figure that out in just a second when I show you what I mean by that. So let me just get this first problem down. Make sure you're copying everything down that I write down on your paper. So here we have the problem -14 minus 32. Now the first step in solving these subtraction problems, we're not going to add the opposite. We are going to do something different, and we are actually just going to circle the numbers that we see and then the operation in front of it. So here we have a -14, we're going to circle that, and then 32 and the operation in front of that, which is the -32. So now I have -14 and the -32 is -32. So I have two negative numbers, so I'm going to cover those up. So a negative number and a negative number. So now the fox is telling me I need to add these two numbers together. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 32 plus 14 together. 4 plus 2 is 6. 3 plus 1 is 4. So my answer then is 46. Now, what we have to do is keep the sign. So we have -14 and -32. The minus 32 has the bigger absolute value. It's the bigger number, so then we're going to keep that minus sign in our problem. So our answer then is -46. Okay, next problem. So I want to have you get the hang of this. I'm going to move these little things away. Here we go. The next problem that we're going to do is -72 minus -49. So again, I'm just going to circle these numbers and the sign in front of it. So circle the number and the sign in front of it. Now, this one is unique because I have two minus signs in front, and a minus make a big positive. That's the one little trick you have to remember, is when there's two minuses right next to each other, it turns to a big positive. And now we can use our fox face again. So I have a -72, so that's a minus, and then I have a +49. So I'm going to cover up the positive sign. So now it's telling me to subtract the two numbers together. So I'm going to take 72 minus 49, borrow. So my answer is going to be 23. Now I have to go back and figure out whether I need a negative sign or not. So I'm going to find the bigger number. 72 has a bigger absolute value than 49, so I'm going to go with that sign, which happens to be a minus sign, a negative sign. So my answer then is going to be -23. Okay, another example for you. Here we go. Oh, let me move these little things away. Make sure again that you're writing all of these down as examples. Here we go. We have 68 minus 91. Oops, sorry, minus 92. Alright, so now I'm going to circle the signs in front of it. Now 68 doesn't have a sign in front of it, so we know that that's a plus sign, a positive. It's a positive number, and you know that naturally. And then I'm going to circle this one and the sign in front of it. So -42. So I have a positive 68 and a -92. So my fox face is telling me I need to subtract those two numbers. So 92 minus 68. And again, we have to borrow. So my answer then becomes 24. Now we have to ask if it's positive or negative, so we look for the biggest number, the biggest absolute value. And this one has the biggest absolute value, so I'm going to put a negative sign there, so my answer is negative 24. Okay, one last practice, and then it'll be your turn. And this one, I have 57 minus negative 23. So here we go. I'm going to circle the number and the sign in front of it. And here the sign in front of it is a minus. Now I have minus negative. When I have two minus signs, I'm going to make that a big positive. So here I have a positive 57 and a positive 23. So lucky for us, that's normal addition. We don't have to do anything special. We actually don't even need to use the fox face if you don't want to, because we have 57 plus 23. That's a type of problem we've been doing since like 4th grade. So 57 plus 23. And that answer is 80. And again, habit would be to look for the biggest absolute value, that biggest number. So 57 is the biggest number, which is positive. So our answer is going to be a positive 80. Okay, your turn. On the piece of paper that you have, make sure you have that fox face drawn. Oops. And then you are going to use that to solve the following problems. So here we go. The first one is negative 10 minus 47. And then 48 minus negative 31. 18 minus 41. And negative 33 minus negative 44. So pause the video and start working on those problems, those 4 problems. Use the fox face, and then check in with me when you think you have all the right answers. Good luck! Okay, here we go. Answers for these. So I'm going to circle my signs. So I have a negative and a negative, which means I add the 2 together. And I add the 2 together, I get 57. And then I look for the biggest absolute value, which number is the biggest, which is 47. And that has the subtraction sign with it, so I know that my answer is going to be negative 57. Then my next problem, circle the signs in front of it. Circle the sign in front of negative 31. And now here, I have the unique situation where I have 2 minus signs, so big positive. And then it becomes just a normal addition problem, 48 plus 31, which is 79. And third question, circle my numbers and the signs in front of them. I have a positive and a negative here, which means I'm going to subtract the difference from each other. And when I do that, I get 23. And then I look for the number with the biggest absolute value, which is 41. It's the biggest number. And so it's a negative sign there, so my answer is going to be negative 23. And the last one, circle the signs, and the number in front of it. Here again, I have a big positive. And so I have a negative and a positive, so I'm going to subtract the 2 numbers together. When I do that, I get an answer of 11. And then I look for the biggest absolute value, which is, in this case, 44. And that's a positive number, so my answer is going to be positive. Hopefully you got those 4 questions right. If you didn't, make sure you're going back and figuring out why. Thanks for watching.